Death.
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 Bye.
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 Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Death by Daylight. I am your host, Josh. I don't know why
You forgot your own name.
I was gonna say my last name. I don't know if I usually do or not, but I'm not gonna today. I don't know why. This is episode 18. We are here with the OG crew minus Darren, who is busy, and possibly is going to be busy for a long time. We also might not have, or we're not going to. Of a bitch, I'm having trouble with this. We're also going to have Jude coming in at halftime, or not have Jude coming in at halftime, because he's got some stuff to do as well. So you've got the four here that were on the original episode. It was just us four. We're very happy to welcome Juan back into the fold. He was here last week, but he missed a couple weeks, and now he's here. He's also going to be playing tonight for the first time in a while. So he will be what you're watching on the screen tonight. We have BTK, and we have we're playing Oni Minotaur Killer, the Minotaur skin on the Oni Killer. And then Juan will figure out what he wants to do after that, but that'll be the drinking game feature, and then we'll talk about BTK. So let's, little round table here. Ernie, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. I mean, it's Friday night. Trying to get a little lit on this podcast, so hopefully Juan doesn't let us down.
Talk about pressure. Fuck.
Well, did you practice one?
Yeah, I had a practice round. And I kicked ass in it, so I'm
Did you say we're talking about BTK tonight?
Yes,
Did I do all my research on the band B2K with fucking Omarion? This is gonna be awkward, guys.
How they used to kill it back in the day.
Bro, I was gonna talk about the murder and fucking You Got Served. God damn it.
I just have a vast appreciation for... Actually, it was just one... I really liked the B2K song, I just can't remember what it was.
Dude, that fucking movie You Got Served came out, I wanted to breakdance, but for all you guys don't know, I'm a fat fuck, and dude, I broke my ankles. I broke my ankle like day one. It was gonna happen.
You actually tried to breakdance?
I tried to, and I got tired like instantly. It was just fucking, it wasn't gonna happen.
I am a Mario.
You Got Served was a painful movie to watch for me.
It was a delightful movie. I think you should cover it.
Even as a kid, I really just I couldn't fuck with it. Let's go around and talk about what we're drinking. Ernie, what are you drinking?
I'm just gonna be shooting bullet tonight.
Shooting bullet, keeping that calorie count low. Jesus, I know you've got a fancy southern drink for us this evening.
I do have me a southern drink. It's called a Southern Bondage, inspired by the BT. I don't know if it's
by the B2K.
It's probably not by the B2K. Inspired by Omarion, and
it's Hennessy and water.
Oh my god! Let's not talk about Hennessy. Fuck that, bro.
You love Hennessy. Why don't you want to talk?
No, I do not fucking love Hennessy. I black out when I
do.
Okay, I black out and I fucking turn into goddamn Dennis Rader when I.
Whoa.
That's not something you should admit on the air.
I know, right?
But Southern Bondage, it has amaretto, peach schnapps, triple sec, Southern Comfort, some cranberry juice, and sweet and sour. It sounds gross, but actually it's pretty fucking delightful. I like it.
Yeah, it sounds like there's way too much shit in there for it to be good.
Sugar, right?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, for me, it's just like I think about the hangover and I want to vomit. But and Juan, are you drinking? That's always the big question.
I'm actually drinking red wine right now.
Oh, well.
Well, fans,
It's called.
bringing you
I can't
here.
pronounce. Is it Bella Bole or Bole? Some shit like
Bella
that.
Bulge.
Bella.
Bella
No
Cock
bulge.
Bulge.
Bella is the right pronunciation of that word. I don't spell the other one.
Bolle, but it has that little. What is it? The little line on top. Little.
That's Bulge. Definitely
It's,
Bulge.
Bella Boy.
It's Italian, so you got the accent there. Oh no, you're going for French.
Yeah, I was going for French.
I do real. Shout
Yeah,
out Rain
so-
Wilson.
a rear. If you didn't listen to
What
the fucking
the-
Cooties episode, that's on you. We're not responsible for whether or not you get those callbacks. You're either with it or you're not. So I'm drinking a Odell brewery. I'm drinking an Odell Brewery Tree Shaker, the mango version, which isn't as good as the peach version for me, but
Right.
it's good. It's not bad. It's an IPA. It's delicious. It's citrusy a little bit, but the peach one for me is just top notch. I remember the first time that I had it, and I was like, holy fuck. But it's harder to find, and
They didn't make it right now. That's why.
yeah, and when it was in season, I biffed it and I didn't get any. So, but yeah, that's what I'm drinking. I've also got Deep Eddies Ruby Red Vodka.
There we
Bullet or Deep Eddies, if you're listening, please
Tie
sponsor the
us
podcast.
up. Oh,
Yeah, bro, we're gonna be fucking huge. Oh, I get it. Jesus is coming back with the dad jokes, but I really like the puns. I like the dad jokes. I don't always fucking pay attention to them, but I'm sure people at home always do.
You know what?
Um,
Fucking B2K. I'm gonna say that all night. Fucking Omarion. When we talk about it later, he had a lot of fucking puns and little things that it just annoyed the fuck out of me. So I'm sorry.
yeah, he's such a fucking nerd.
He really is.
You're a fucking
irritated-
nerd.
Fucking irritated the shit
I
out
want
of
to
me.
bash
Like,
these nerds. Yeah, I mean, he's just an awful person, and on top of that was super annoying and nerdy, and we'll get into that. So Juan is going to, well, hello everybody at home. Thanks for tuning in. We are Death by Daylight, and we're happy to have you here. Please, if you want to join in the conversation, feel free to comment. We will be watching those comments very intently. So Juan's going to go ahead and jump into the killer game, and we'll go from there. He is playing. Well, you go ahead and tell him what you're playing, Juan.
I am playing the Oni with the Minotaur skin, which kind of pissed me off earlier. Because you can't just buy that skin is so expensive. It's like how much? $14.99 just for the skin. And then if you don't own the
about
actual,
$15.
and then if you don't own the character, you need to spend another like $5. So this was the most
Well, you
expensive
spent
character I've
$20
ever
tonight.
for y'all.
What happened to
For
your
y'all's
blood points?
enjoyment. Blood points are not to buy shit. It's to buy like your perks, like to get your perks and like all that stuff to like make your character better. But to actually get a character, you need to spend some actual money.
That's
God
fucking
damn, what is
crazy.
this? Is this fucking Fortnite? What is this? I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's I think this guy comes from fucking EA or something.
God damn. EA, if you're listening, put me in the new Madden.
Dude, yeah, I need that new Madden. I need that new FIFA. Because
Look.
that may be the only fucking football I'm getting this fall. It's not looking good there, boys.
Go Birds.
Go Birds! Go Birds! No, I'm not an Eagles fan. I don't know why that matters to this audience, but it
I
should.
know, right?
Oh,
Fly,
we lost a viewer.
Eagles,
They're like,
fly.
fucking Eagles. God damn it.
We lose subs.
I could handle the rape, but the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm freaking out.
We gonna lose in 10 subs that we got.
Yeah, they're gonna check out. We have Cowboys fans here, people that I know there's. Yeah, I mean, don't listen.
We dem boy.
I'm not a Cowboys fan, but we do have a couple here. So, if you're feeling left out, then you shouldn't because they're here. Which means that they're going to obnoxiously insist that the Cowboys are good enough to even win one round in the playoffs. Which they're not.
They are also the biggest lightweights. Am I right, Josh?
They are. To be
I hate y'all.
Fair.
Fuck
to
you
be
guys.
fair,
Now you're going too far right there.
it's pretty hard to keep up with me and Ernie, but yeah, they are the lightweights in the group.
Oh, really?
Maybe a little light on their feet as well.
Well,
light in the pants.
I told you I have been breakdancing.
I was on that.
Well,
I was on
told
that
us you
Michael
were
Irvin
breakdancing
shit.
10 years ago.
Yeah, that's a long ass. Yeah. All right. So, Juan, you spent $20 to get wrecked on tonight. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's exactly what I'm expecting tonight.
Look to your left.
Don't
your other left.
expect to get wrecked on. That's not why the people showed up.
But I will do my best for you.
You're gonna do your best. You know who you sound like? Dennis fucking Rader. God damn it.
Ernie's trying to talk about the build, so...
Alright, talk about the build.
He's running Sloppy Butcher and Nurse's Calling, which is pretty good. Makes them heal slower, and you can see when they're healing. He has No-Ed, which... whatever. And he has Nemesis, which is pretty fucking useless.
You did not tell us what any of these perks are for those.
I literally
who
just
have no
did,
idea.
dumbass.
He told us the first two, not the last two.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Like
about
Nemesis,
to.
I don't know what it does.
I don't know what Nemesis does
Some
either.
cuck didn't cut me off.
Cuck? Oh.
So Nemesis, if you run it with play with your food, will get you faster speed when you let your obsession go away. So Nemesis, if you get stunned by someone, they instantly become your obsession, so you can just swap people to get more speed and stuff. I mean, no, once all the gens are done, there's a totem, and you can instant down someone. But yeah, I mean, he has 3 good perks.
Which is the one that isn't good?
Nemesis, for the build that he has.
Because he needs that other one that it works with?
Yeah, I mean, it's just pointless to switch your obsession if you don't have a perk that, runs off of your obsession.
Well, he has one person in his arms right now. What are you gonna do?
He's got a hook. Oh, let the drinking game rules. If you're a returning listener, you know what they are. If you're new here, if Juan gets a hook or breaks a generator, that's a drink. Also, his first and third hooks are a drink. His first and third kills are a drink. And then his second and fourth kills, we call those the money kills, and that's going to mean that we're going to take some shots. Once
the
this
money
game
shot?
is over.
When do we ever call them the money kills?
I just made that up right now. Maybe we'll use it moving forward. Maybe we won't.
Are you giving it a nickname? Are you giving it your own nickname?
Yeah, so that's going to be a common theme today. As a matter of fact, we can right now, since we're not officially talking about our subject, we can all give ourselves our own nickname, because that's what Dennis Rader decided to do, because no one gave a fuck enough to be like, let's give this guy a name. And the ones that he suggested were pretty awful.
What are the suggestions?
One of them was
So, yeah, you want to talk about the good ones, or you want to talk about the? Well, one of them was pretty cool, and then the rest were like, oh god.
One of them's like the Pajau Phantom, right?
The Garrote Phantom.
Oh, the Garrote Phantom. Yeah, that's what it was. Caesar's in the chat. What's up, Caesar? He's in the chat all the way from the infamous, or famous rather, Elvin Elvis.
So
infamous is bad.
So I gave myself that nickname. Fuck all that.
The infamous Jesus. I love it.
So
Oh,
for,
it's Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
So BTK, basically when he started his killings, the media didn't give him the coverage he was hoping for, and he wrote letters to the news saying, "Hey guys, I'm the one who killed these people. This is me. Give me a name. What do I?" I think he
Please,
said,
bro.
How many people do I have to kill before you acknowledge me? Someone acknowledge me, please."
Yeah, I think the exact words were like, "What do I have to do to be acknowledged by the nationals?"
Please,
He
bro.
he was so fixed on he wanted to be a fucking famous serial killer. He said, "You guys can call me the BT. Well, my MO is bind them, torture, and kill them. So you could call me the BTK Killer. You could call me the BTK Strangler, the Wichita Strangler,
Oh yeah.
the Asphyxiator,
Ugh.
the Bondage, the Bondage Strangler, the Poetic Strangler."
Oh
Or
yeah, that's the worst
The
one.
Wichita Hangman.
That one's the best one. Let's
That's
be
the
real.
best.
The best one.
I think he was writing fucking wrestling stage names before he started this.
Michelle, it was not a sad tone that I said, "Oh, it's Michelle." I'm very happy to have you here. I was correcting it in transitions, so it may have sounded like that tone, but I promise that it wasn't. Thank you for coming to hang out. We appreciate you being here. So yeah, those nicknames, and we don't want to get too into it right now because we're supposed to be paying attention to one, but just awful, just awful. Poetic Strangler is just
that you were really playing like the Garrote Phantom right now, Juan. It is.
You're playing like you want to be playing like a Wichita Hangman, and instead you're playing like the Poetic Strangler.
Poetic strength.
Dude, I mean, just a terrible.
Hey, I got a kill. Fuck y'all.
I mean,
You know who else got a kill? Fucking BTK. He's a piece of shit.
he got 10. Can you beat him
He
tonight?
got
Oh, I just thought of a game.
challenge.
And we beat BTK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't get more than 10 kills tonight, you have to tie a rope around your neck and jerk one off live.
He's got one kill. How many generators left?
3. So I'm on good pace right now.
You're not on good pace.
What are these red things you are collecting?
Blood. So the Oni sucks up your blood and he gets into this demon rage power. That Juan kind of needs to learn a little bit better.
Suck it, Juan. Suck it. Oh, suck it.
Hit it, Juan. Hit it. Fuck that fool up. Run at him.
Oh, I pressed the wrong button.
Damn it.
You gotta run. You gotta run at him and then smash him. Hulk smash. Like bam bam.
Get him, the bonded strangler.
Bondage strangler.
Such a fucking nerd.
You're a fucking nerd.
Oh my
And
goodness.
nobody
Why
likes
can't you move that fast all the time?
Cause it's just when he's in his power when he collects enough of that blood.
Oh, for sure.
But
So, Jesus, you're gonna stick with your nickname. What was it?
No, fuck that. I
why'd
wanna
you
be
stop,
called-
Juan? So Juan,
What?
instead of stopping running, run at him and then swing it and you'll smash down instead of just smacking him with your mallet. You'll get an insta down instead of having to hit him twice.
You're getting live notes on Death by Daylight tonight on how to play this game, guys. Boom.
I think
I want y'all to call me the Poetic Strangler tonight.
Poetic strength.
Oh my god, dude.
What?
Poetic Strangler. Give us a poem then. Give us a poem about Juan's gameplay right now.
Alright. Let's see. Who did you just hang? You hung a Nancy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hanging a Nancy on a hook.
That's
Play like a bitch, and you cannot look. I don't. I don't
Let's
fucking.
call that a haiku.
Poetic
Hope you guys
Strangler.
got that
Thank
reference.
I did not, but I also didn't correct you about what a haiku is, so I feel good about that.
I'm fucking
So,
waiting for it, bro.
The
Dude,
an
I
island
watched
in Hawaii, right?
Controlled like 2 times.
Oh, time for a shot, boys.
Oh, kill!
Dude, 2K.
Get it, the
B2K.
Wichita Hangman.
We've got a
hey,
B2K
I've
here,
upgraded.
boys.
I've upgraded to a better name. So give me a better name.
No, Wichita Hangman was the best name. If you get
Yeah.
4K, you'll get Wichita Hangman. Right now, instead of the
Garrote Phantom.
the Garrote Phantom, you can move to the Bondage Killer.
Oh my. Dude, I can't imagine like him riding like the Garrote Phantom. Like, fuck yeah, I would go by this. Like, he should be happy that they called him B2K. He should be happy he knew Omarion. Like,
Son of a bitch.
what was
You're way
Omarion
too
when all
into
of this
this.
was going on?
You're way into this B2K thing. But we're gonna take a shot because Juan got a B2K. So,
Cheers.
cheers, boys. Here's to the Wichita Hangman.
Cheers.
And cheers in mine to the fucking Poetic Strangler.
Dear
that's
God.
me. I can't. Can I cheers to myself? It's kind of shitty. He was a shitty person. It's alright.
You're kind of a shitty person, and I'm friends with you.
Oh. Oh, that
Oh
word.
no! Who's coughing?
Jesus.
Wow, that's Southern. Oh fuck! I forgot what it was.
I'm shooting bullet.
Oh, nice. That's more manly.
Not as. Never mind. We'll talk about this in a little bit.
So Juan looking really good at this point.
I think I'm playing against a fucking PC player.
Yeah, that's a possibility because he's making those
Glitchy.
quick turns. Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think it's a PC with the glitches. Little third. Is he gonna get the last guy?
I can't tell if it's glitchy or he's making like really good turns. Dude,
Nah,
that's
the
a
dude is glitching
fucking
out.
sick fucking kill. That's awesome. So now you got to protect the hatch, right? That's
Yeah.
the thing to do here.
We'll find it and close it. If he's
Oh,
gonna
you have
get
to
us,
find the hatch?
yeah.
Like it's not in the same place on the map all the
I
time?
found it.
No. Oh, nice. Close that shit.
Boom.
See if you get that
Oh.
4K, buddy.
Nice.
Wrap it up.
Put that cord around his neck. Rub one out.
If only you had your fucking power though, because then you could run back and forth.
Ah, that's
Well, no, you got
far.
two good doors. No, he has two good doors right across from each other. No, he's not there. There's no lights on the end.
But
The
if the
door.
generators aren't there, it doesn't matter, right? He can't open the door?
I wouldn't go for blood right now. When I would just go back and forth between the doors. Since he's the last kill and he closed the hatch, he can open up the doors now.
Oh, shit.
He's not there. Literally, Juan just has to patrol back and forth, and just once he sees a light on the door, he knows which one he's at, and he can find him.
Wouldn't it behoove him to stay somewhere in the middle then?
Yeah, he just has to keep walking back and forth.
I used
Yeah.
a $20 word.
You see who? Not there.
Juan, aren't you behooved? I don't.
No,
I can't.
no,
I
that's
can't
not
think-
that's not the right.
Dude,
There
I
he
think
is.
I think the shots are getting to me already.
Jesus.
He's around here.
Well,
Light him up.
Where are you going
Juan,
back,
he is around there.
Juan, where are you
Juan.
going back?
Juan,
What?
don't go back.
What are you doing?
He was over there. You missed him.
You didn't see the light on the door?
No. Fuck.
Go back. No, turn around. He's gonna get out. Not that door.
Wait. Oh. I missed it by like a fucking split second. Oh well.
What's up, Megalith?
He got
I don't know why
out.
Why
You're
did you
a
do
piece
that?
I didn't see it. I didn't.
Like there was a little red light on the door.
You fucking suck, Juan. You know who else sucked at killing?
You.
I mean, he did kill 10 people, but fucking Dennis Rader, piece of
Damn,
shit.
I killed a level 5 at least, and the other two were 20s and 19.
Something to brag about.
So we've got Michelle. Did you already do the Chocolate Bear 10's bar bit? We have not. He is locked and loaded. We'll have that in a second. It's every fucking time. Hello, Megan and Luis and Violet. Happy to have you guys here. And speaking of the Chocolate Bear 10's bar segment, he has sent in his audio. I have not pre-vetted this, so I don't know what he's going to say, but it's always good, so here we go.
Well, Josh,
Nope, I fucked it up. Give me 1 second.
Well, Josh, since today you guys are talking about the BTK Killer, and if you look real hard at the BTK Killer, he kind of looks like Red from that 70s show. So I'm going to give you a cocktail called Killer in Red. It's 3/4 ounce Italian red, bitter liqueur, 3/4 ounce dry gin, 3/4 ounce Bianco vermouth, and a half ounce of Grand Marnier. Just take all that, stir it, and pour it into a Killer coupe glass, and put a little garnish of rose oil right on top, and you have yourself a nice murderous drink to go ahead and enjoy with all the killing you finna do in the future. You enjoy that. The BTK Killer in Red cocktail, ladies and gentlemen. Back to you, Josh.
Thank you, Derry. That
Sounds
actually
delicious.
sounds like a fucking delicious drink. Not that it's like the evening. Juan is going. Are you gonna play Survivor? Or are you gonna keep killing one?
I want to try
He
and
has to
keep
get
killing.
10 kills, remember?
Oh yeah. So he's gonna. Does he have to keep using the Oni, or can he switch?
I would
Well-
say using the Oni now.
Yeah.
We,
why not?
I had told him to use the Minotaur because one of the very voices in Dennis Rader's head is he would call the killer inside of him the Minotaur in a tell-all book that because he loved talking. He fucking loved to talk. And he would say, you know, the killer inside my head, at one point he would reference them as the Minotaur. And that's a little fun fact for you.
That is a fun fact.
Do we have anyone fucking my mom? Oh, wait, we do. God damn it.
Hey,
Again, if
Fuck
you
you,
don't get the
Josh.
callbacks, if you don't get the callbacks, that's on you. That's a reference to our good friend Jude, who is currently fucking your mom.
God
so
damn
we
it!
are-
That's why he's missing today's episode.
he flew in just to fuck your mom. So we're going to be talking about BTK, whose real name is Dennis Lynn Rader. Yeah, that's his parents never gave him a chance because the middle name Lynn is just awful for a man. And so BTK, one of the most notorious killers in the history of the United States, mostly because he was largely at large for a very long time, and he didn't get caught for a very, very long time. The only reason he did get caught was because of his hubris. He decided that he was tired of being unrecognized. He decided that he was tired of not having that notoriety, and so he started, after years and years, 30 so years of killing, he decided to... No, not 30?
no, wait. Well, before you reveal how he got caught, what would he do before? How would he communicate with the police?
So, so I can pass that to Jesus, but very briefly, the way that I understood it was that he would write notes, a lot of, he would misspell things, he would purposely change his handwriting, he would mail in the IDs, or a card, or some kind of identifying part of these women that he was killing to the police, and with them would be these notes that were misspelled, and the handwriting was almost childish, and he would add like S's where they didn't belong and stuff. He eventually would claim all of this was part of his master plan to never get caught, and apparently it worked, which is unfortunate because it just gave him more and more confidence to just be worse and worse and more of a chode. Yeah, so and eventually it would lead to his demise, thank God. But so let's start with Jesus has background on like what he claims turned him into a killer from his very young life. He claims to have voices in his head, or like, again, he calls him his killer part, the Minotaur. And there's people who say that he, like, really, I mean, he did live a double life, so all of that is very possible. But Jesus is going to tell us a little bit about what made BTK into a killer from, like, his younger life.
So, by the time I'm done with this, guys, you're going to fucking think, oh my god, I could be a fucking serial killer. I could snap. Because in his fucking his tell-all, the Confessions of a Serial Killer, because, okay, guys, he was so obsessed of wanting to be a fucking Bundy, wanting to be a fucking Son of Sam. He told everything. He snitched himself out completely. So there was a news reporter who wanted to know, okay, well, what the fuck was going on in your head? What led you to this? And really, he had a normal fucking childhood. He said, you know, his parents were fucking high school sweethearts. He wasn't fucking getting sexually abused. And little things, he's like, he kept on voicing, yeah, that could have been the start to it, what made me turn here. It's like, no, dude, fucking kids go through that. That's not what started you here. So, I'm gonna go into it. There's definitely some things that you're like, okay, yeah, I could definitely see a fucking serial killer here. But his things that, his so-called triggers, it's like, no. I mean, first off, he said he had a normal fucking childhood. His best friends growing up were John, Bobby, and Alan. They also called themselves the Riverview Gang, as you may call it.
Oh my god, dude.
His dad loved him. His mom loved him. The only thing that I could really say that may have fucked with his brain is, so his mom fell off a horse when she was pregnant with him. Okay, we'll give him that. Maybe some brain damage.
Yeah, sure.
When he was 8 months old, his mom apparently dropped him, and he went blue and unconscious as an infant, and he had some brain damage. Okay, maybe, right?
Yeah, sure.
Are you all right? Let's go into the stuff where, like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking piece of shit. So, some of the things he claimed at when he knew that he was becoming a monster, he remembers when he was maybe 3 or 4 years old, his mom, she lost her ring in the couch, and like the fucking couch springs, she became fucking trapped in it, and she was like crying and screaming for help. And at 3 or 4 years old, he said, I had a strange feeling in my groin area. It got me very excited seeing my mom like this. And I was like, what? He blamed his mom for not being a Christian woman. He's like, well, explain, not Christian. Did she beat you? Did she? He was like, no, not that. She was really great with that. But, you know, she would smoke cigarettes and watch a lot of TV when she should have been taking care of me.
Jesus. So you see this a lot, and we'll keep going in a second, but you see this a lot with serial killers, and you see this over and over with BTK. Women were objects. They were supposed to be this ideal version of what he thought a woman should be, and if they were anything less, he was like, they deserve to fucking be tortured and die. So he had, like, he idolized his wife, he put his wife on a pedestal, and then everyone else was that. It was supposed to be, they were supposed to be to his liking. And that's very apparent there. And it just keeps getting, like, you'll see that pattern over and over, but go ahead.
No, like, I mean, going on that, he saw his mom as a sex symbol to him. She never molested him or anything like that, but he voiced that his mom was very beautiful and attractive, and that he would get in trouble so she could, like, spank him and beat him because it would turn him on. He voiced that his mom had one of those white slip nightgowns, and that he would feel it, and like the silkiness of it would fucking arouse him. So he started jerking off into it, and he's like, if I get caught, I'm gonna have to kill myself. There's no way. So what else am I gonna do? I'm gonna put this away, and I'm gonna grab her used panties and jerk off into them and throw it away. Another fun fact, yeah, dude, that fucking he said that.
Let's not call these fun facts.
Oh, they're funny.
Fun
call them
facts.
literally anything else.
Okay. Facts is that white slip that he said that his mom had. One of his victims, he had them bondage up in a fucking white slip, very similar to what the mom had growing up, and he said that she was just like a sex symbol to him. He would blame that. Okay, so growing up on a farm, you're gonna see fucking, some things that maybe some city kids won't see, like death to animals and stuff like that. He said his grandparents would fucking wrap up chickens to fucking kill them, like you're gonna kill your chickens. He said tying up the chickens would turn him on. He would fucking jerk off in the chicken coop to bondage magazines. He said that when he was a child, apparently he stole a toy train from the store, and his mom found out. And she's like, well, we're going to take you to the store to return this, and you're going to tell them what you did. Typical parenting shit. He said, I lost my trust with my mom. I couldn't fucking see her the same. She should have protected me. That really played a huge mental factor on me. Like, I felt like my mom was turning on me. He also, fucking Mr. Badass over here in school, he would not drink his milk in the morning to get detention. He's like, that was probably a turning point. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, not that I, to toot my own horn or anything, but I went through way worse than that. And I know for a fact that some of you did too, because we've talked about, memories from our childhood of getting in trouble and that kind of thing. And it's like, dude, you got in trouble because you stole something. Yeah. She's supposed to protect you from the people that are just minding their business that you stole from. Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, alright.
Michelle brings up a good point, though. She says, Oedipus complex much?
Yeah, I mean, that's
exactly.
the definition of an Oedipus complex. And an Oedipus complex is supposed to be, like, under the surface, like, you subconsciously want to have sex with your mother. He's just openly admitting it. He's like, yeah, I definitely wanted to do it, which is.
He said he never saw his mom as a. He said he never saw his mom as a victim, though. He said he would never hurt his mom, but he did, see her in that aspect. So are you ready for his fucking what turned him on to BDSM?
I mean, I doubt it, but go on.
Oh, okay. At 5 years old, he had an ear infection. The nurse held him down because they had to rupture his eardrum so they could let the fucking infection out. Just the fact of the nurse holding him down, making him squirm, and then comforting him afterwards, really could have been his turning point. He said, "I'm like, a fucking ear infection as a child."
Or it's like, dude, it's like these things didn't turn you into a serial killer. You were a fucking little demonic child, and just like every little thing just hit your brain wrong. Like, I really think that brain damage happened because, like, as a child, like, I was held down to like fucking take shots or whatever, and I was always like, this is terrible, not like, oh my god, I'm so fucking hard right now.
But he said that fucking, so growing up, he had found one of those like murder mystery magazines in his dad's truck, and it was talking about, some famous serial killers and shit like that, and reading that shit just fucking really turned him on. He said that he would get turned on by a lot of things. He was a fucking Boy Scout, so when he learned how to tie ropes up, he fucking would get turned on. Just fucking the littlest things said would turn him on. Oh, he would fucking get magazines and draw on the women's magazines. He would fucking draw on them, like if they were bondaged up, and he said it would fucking turn him on. When his 13-year-old girlfriend moved to another state, he said that the heartbreak made it seem like it was he lost the ability to feel love and attended to.
He jerked off to the heartbreak.
At like 9-10 years old, he was obsessed with one of these characters on the Mickey Mouse Club. She was I guess she was one of the main girls there. You know how fucking guys have that, that teen crush or whatever, growing up on someone, and he had said to her that this that this girl, I think her name was like Annette. Back in the day, he said that his terrible crush on her made him really change his mental status, and that he just fantasized her about all day, and he would write poetry about her. Are y'all ready for a fucking poetry slam right now on the famous Dennis Rader?
Yes.
He wrote this about
give
the
us these fucking nerd poems.
He said to Annette from the Mickey Mouse Club, "You made me the werewolf to chase you in a full moon, the Dracula to bite her, to sink my teeth into that wonderful flesh of womanhood, the mummy to wrap her up tight, defenseless, mercy to me."
My God! So he was a Universal Monsters fan.
So he was such a fucking loser that he didn't even know how to write good fucking poetry.
Dude,
that's exactly what I'm hearing.
Oh my God! It's so derivative. My God!
He
Kill
started
people in a gnarly way.
Dude, he started fucking peeping Tom at like the age, like, so you hear shit like this, like he would in 6th grade, he used to spy on his 6th grade teacher. He would fucking go to her house and like jerk off in her bushes and shit like that.
Damn.
He would break into their house and like try to steal their stuff, and that's where he claimed, like, you know, when we talk about his murder victims, he stole what serial killers would consider trophies to relive it later. He's like, that's what caused me to want to get trophies, because I used to jerk off as a peeping Tom to my 6th grade teacher.
So I think we're in
We all
conclusion
did that.
for young Dennis Rader. Before we fucking throw up, I think in conclusion for Dennis Rader, he was just always a sick fuck that blamed a lot of stuff on nothing.
I just think of John Lovitz in Little Nicky when he's like peeping Tomming, like he's peep Tomming when he's on a fucking tree and he's looking into this like the neighbor's house.
So, if any of you guys ever had a crush on a TV character, if you've ever had a crush on your 6th grade teacher, you might be a serial killer. I mean, you should probably just go jerk off into your mom's panties tonight.
Oh my God!
No.
No.
We got Marcus in the chat. What up, Marcus?
What's
We're
up,
not going to be
Marcus?
jacking off into our mother's panties. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're moving on from this chapter. It doesn't get less gross, but at least he's an adult at some point and doing these things. Beth is also in the chat. What's up, dude? Cheers. So Juan just got out of another match. How did you do, Juan?
I
1K.
sucked ass. 1K.
1K. So we'll add that 1K to your 3K and take another shot.
I'm going into a Survivor match now.
Because I really need to have a little something to keep going with BTK. It's a fascinating story. It's just very gross.
You may need some sugar. Another one he blamed it on is he used to get hypoglycemic. His low blood sugar is like, yep, I had low blood sugar. I could have ate a cookie, but instead I decided to kill people when I got older.
Yeah. So let's cheers to all the moms out there.
Cheers.
Is that really what we want to be cheating to after that shit?
Yeah, I mean they not only do they have to like be a mom, but there's a chance that their kid is like watching their teacher and jacking off. So it can't be an easy existence.
How about cheers to the Rocky and Bullwinkle show, which he claimed his bondage fantasy from that too.
What the fuck?
So, like,
Yeah.
aside from a baby raider, when he actually killed people, like, what did he do?
So I'm gonna take some of this. So his first kills were, first of all, multiple on the same evening, and it was a family. So he broke into their house. Actually, he didn't even break in. So he just like knocked on the door, and some little kid that didn't know better let him into the house. And he was there. He knew what he was there for. It's not like he got into the house and then. So he immediately attacks the adults first because they're going to be the hardest. Obviously, he takes them by surprise, and he lives up to his eventual nickname that again he gave to himself by tying everybody up. He ties everybody up. The torture part wasn't apparent right away, but eventually he talks about how he tried different methods, and like some things he was surprised by how difficult it was to do, because like the movies and TV and whatever made it seem so easy. And so in his first kill, he got over with it rather quickly. The highlight of the first kill, or the low light rather, is that so he was fascinated by children, but he was not a pedophile. Like, he never technically did anything that was pedophilia, but there is a 9-year-old girl in the house, and he tied her up to hang her, and he said that like the sexual gratification was not coming from the fact that she was a young girl. It was just hearing her beg for mercy got him so sexually aroused that after he hung her and killed her, that he came all over her body. And so all of this stuff is it would birth the what he needed. He knew at that moment what he needed sexually. So one more thing before I let Jesus take over maybe another kill that he did, is that he had a wife eventually, but a girlfriend before that actually caught him in the act of sexual deviancy, is what we're going to call it. So what he would do is he had like this woman's face mask. Like, it was a mask of a woman's face that was really fucking creepy. And he would like sit there and look at himself in the mirror and fucking almost like Buffalo Bill, like tuck his dick in and like look at himself. And then what he would do is he would do a little autoerotic asphyxiation, and he would tie a rope to the doorknob of the bathroom, and then he would fucking hang himself while he looked at himself in the mirror with the woman's mask on, and start jacking off while that was happening. And his girlfriend walked in on him once and made him go to like a therapist, made him go to a psychiatrist to talk about his sexual deviancy. Obviously that didn't work. He would eventually break up with her and then go on to get married. But
you guys don't do that?
No, I don't. We're not judging here at Death by Daylight.
After every podcast, I put the fucking mask on, get the belt, put a finger up my ass.
I like to grab the shoelace and. No, okay, I'm not gonna keep going.
Callback.
Another callback.
I like all the callbacks.
That's an OG callback too.
Dude, yeah, that was a long time ago.
Then Jude busts in the room and fucks me.
What?
And fucks your mama.
Jude busts in the room.
I'm getting the whole family. So we're gonna do, before I go back to Zeus for another kill, we're gonna do a little bit of question. We like to ask ourselves questions here to kind of see where we would be at. So someone busts into your house and they're working on one of your family members, tying them up and shit. Do you think you have what it takes to? I mean, it's a pretty obvious question for me, but I've actually had this conversation with people that are like, no matter what's happening, I don't have it in me to kill somebody. Well, are you on that shit? Let's pretend that you're not like a little kid. Obviously, that little kid couldn't do anything, but do you take this motherfucker out? Do you think you have it in you?
Fuck yeah. I mean, he's probably gonna be like trying to like stab you or something, but I mean, at least just try to fucking do something. If you think you're gonna get killed either way, try to take him out as best as you can, bro.
Yeah, I'd fucking fight every last fucking minute that I have. I'd kill Josh. I'd kill you. Oh, throwback episode. Am I right?
Oh, dude, this is a callback jizz fest right now. I fucking love it. But okay, so yeah, and I mean, I think that's I mean, you go down fighting. Excellent point, Beth. I think all of us. I know, like, Juan has a wife and a child, so like, of course, he's going to also like. I mean, fucking.
Juan's gonna suck his dick. He's in bed.
No, I would.
He's like, suck that dick.
I'd honestly would just talk shit to him. Like, I try to make him feel bad because he seems like a total fucking chode. So I would just like hurt his feelings.
Dude, he fucking is. We'll go into right now.
I'd fuck him up, and then we can all go fucking. What do you call it? Give him a bukkake.
Whoa!
Hey, you thought you were gonna come jizz on me? I'm gonna jizz on you, motherfucker.
I'm gonna call my boys. We're all gonna jizz on you.
Be like, he calls us and we're like, we'll be right there, Juan.
I need y'all to come.
Y'all better show up with your dicks out.
This is about to be a lemon party with your face, my friend.
Wrong house, buddy.
For every person you jerked off on.
Dude.
He deserved it too, shit.
So that goes, it parallels with one of his other kills, and I know Jesus, like, you were probably going to talk about this one, and you can add details that I missed or whatever, but, so he breaks into another house, and there is a young woman there that lives there with her brother. I actually think it was the whole family, but the parents weren't home or something like that. And it's, I say girl, she was like 18 or 19, so a young woman, and the brother was around that same age. And he shoots the brother this is another reason that you can tell that he's a fucking weak piece of shit, is like he wants to eliminate any male threat immediately. Like, he's obviously threatened by them, he's not taking any chances, so instead of like binding, torture, killing him, he just fucking shoots him in the goddamn face.
Dude, he does not know what the fuck he's doing. In that tell-all book, he had spoke about like where he would try. He had plans in mind, but they always fucking backfired. That he really didn't prepare himself as much as he fucking thought he did. And with that first kill, the family were complaining that the fucking ropes were too tight. So he's like, "Oh, he would loosen them and retie them." Because he had this sick fetish that, and it goes back to if someone broke into your house, he had that thing where he wanted to make them feel like he was just going to rob them. It wasn't that he was trying to kill them. He went in there saying, "Hey, I'm just here to steal your car. I'm a fucking convict on the run. I'm just looking for some money and some food. Get the fuck out of here." Where he's not even original about that. I mean, and one of the things when he was saying when he was younger, at 14 years old, there was one called the Cluster Family Murders, which these fucking guys did the same thing. They went to some house, they claimed that they were fucking runaways and that they just want to fucking want some money, a car to fucking keep going, and the family, I guess, somewhat trusted them, thinking, all right, if we give them what they want, they're going to get the fuck out of here. And then they ended up killing him. And he's talking about how that just fucking really turned him on at 14 years old. So he took that same approach. The knots that he used, it was the same knots the fucking Boston Strangler used. Like, he was not fucking original at all. He would also claim things like, yeah, this is what Bundy did, so I did it too. You know what I'm saying? My boy Bundy, right? Like, no, dude, that's not your fucking boy. You're a fucking piece of shit. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Honest, it wasn't until his 6th kill that he actually had a plan that was executed right. Everything was fucked up. He was not expecting on that first murder for the husband to be there. He said that he gave him a pillow because he was hurting. Because he had just broken his ribs. He's like, well, he was hurting, so I wanted to make sure that he was comfortable. Like, who the fuck does that? Like,
yeah, and it's a miracle that he didn't get caught in those first 6 kills, because again, like, he was learning as he went, and like, eventually he would like figure out how to not get caught, and he would figure out how to stalk these women and make sure they were alone. His victims kept getting older and older so that they would be like weaker. Technically, he never raped anyone. He was all about jacking off. Like, he didn't rape anybody. He would just get, because it wasn't the women, or it wasn't like their physical being that was turning him on. It was literally torturing these women. That was the only sexual gratification that he got.
In the movie the Hunt for BTK, they don't really talk about like him being a sick fuck. They like just show him as like this dude that gets pissed off when the media tries to cover like someone else like doing it. So like they did a pretty good job on that aspect, but they really don't talk about him being like such a piece of shit. And they do a lot of like talking about how he hated this lady's dog.
Jesus.
Dude, that's really how he fucking, like, how the whole thing started, because with that, the first family murder, the Oteros, they were, the cops were trying to blame someone. It happened at 8 o'clock in the morning. He studied their schedule and shit like that. So, I mean, anyone out there who has schedules, fucking change it up every now and then, right?
Yeah.
And the media was trying to blame it on someone. He's like, no, guys, it was me. He sent fucking letters with detail gruesome as far as what he did, and only the Killer would fucking know, so they were like, oh shit. And that's when he's all like, can you please give me a name, guys? Like, seriously, I just killed people.
Ugh. Yeah, so he gets like in this kill, he eliminates the brother. Well, I mean, he shoots him in the face, and he doesn't rape the sister, but he's torturing her. And the brother, although he was shot in the face, was not dead. So he was having to like listen to it, and he was having to just endure it because he couldn't obviously get shot in the face. He couldn't get the physical strength to do anything about it. He eventually, after a long time, does get enough energy to try to rally, and he goes at BTK, and BTK shoots him twice more in the face, and the kid lived. He lived through all of that.
And you guys know him as 50 Cent. Shot 9. That wasn't 50?
50 Cent. No, I don't think it was 50.
50, if you listening.
Please sponsor the podcast. So this kid lives through all of that and told the tale. Eventually, I mean, just a nightmare situation. Obviously, his sister died after BTK left. He couldn't even call for help or anything. They had to just find him there, and he survived. Although I probably think he wishes that he didn't. And so we'll continue with.
I think that's the dude that lives in. I'm sorry. I think he's that dude that lives in Truth or Consequences, right? The Otero guy.
Sure. This wasn't the Otero.
It wasn't Otero. Oh, okay, yeah, because I know
this is another incident.
This guy actually was able to go to the cops, but I mean, he was fucking shot multiple times in the face, so he really couldn't give a good description.
Yeah,
the only thing he could really tell him is he identified this watch that he was wearing, and that watch was actually the watch for Mr. Otero from the first fucking murder.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, so he did a lot of that kind of shit too, where like he would take little trophies and then flaunt them around because he thought he was like, oh, I'm getting away with this, I'm so cool.
I used to jerk off to my 6th grade teacher and then go inside our house and steal something. That's what caused this.
They should have given him a name with that.
A lot of it for him too was just the simple act of he got sexual gratification just for breaking into these places. That's all that it took. Like he deviancy. It was sexual deviancy. They eventually would link like that term to a lot of other people, but he really was, I mean, the epitome of, I'm not turned on by women, I'm not turned on by anything except for deviant acts.
Dude, and
you'll see that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and these acts, he said that he would fucking sometimes come like while he was tying, like he was just so fucking excited that when he was tying these women up and fucking torture, like getting ready to torture them, that he would fucking just jizz already like during the thing. And he referenced it that during these acts, sometimes it would cause the sparky big time.
Wow. Holy fuck, man.
Oh, so next time
sparky
you're about
big time.
So next time you're making love, just be like, oh god, I'm about to fucking sparky big time.
Here comes the sparky big time, you bitch.
This dude was a fucking like serial killer dad joke, like.
Oh my. Okay, so another thing, adding to the sparky big time, he said that the first time, the little girl that he tied up, he said that after that kill, the ball game exploded. He said that was just like he knew right then and there that he was going to spend the rest of his life trying to do this again. And so again, just a hyper fucking dweeb fucking chode that this guy was, that he couldn't even come up. The best thing he could come up with is Sparky Big Time. But the other thing for me is like, isn't it harder to tie someone up while you're fully torqued? Like your boner's getting in the way of everything. You're just like, I can't even tie these ropes because my boner keeps getting caught in the knot. Like, this guy is just the absolute worst. So let's go to another kill before we start getting into maybe the most famous kill or that before we start getting into like how he got caught at the end?
Well, yeah. I mean, we could talk about another kill. We could also talk about that his first kill, his first kidnapping, did not even go accordingly. He tried to fucking kidnap a bank teller. He put on a fucking ski mask. He did his research on this girl, and he went up to her, tried robbing her, and she fought back, and he ended up apologizing to her and ran away. Like, what a fucking...
I'm sorry.
He's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make my Sparky big time, and like fucking ran off. Like,
isn't it so wrong to have Sparky big time?
Yeah, but I mean, going into other murders, he did talk about how, you know, Josh had mentioned that there was only those 2 kids in the beginning that he killed, but he, you know, this piece of shit fucking said that if he had the opportunity, he probably would have killed and tortured more kids. He didn't stop there. He would fucking... At one point, he was working as a fucking dog catcher, and he stopped killing for a while because he got that gratification from fucking putting down animals, which he took back, by the way. He's like, I just did that. Like, he basically said, I did it for the clout. He was like, I only told the cops that, but I really love dogs. I only used to tie them up as a child to jerk off and untie them. I wasn't hurting them at all. What? What the fuck? Not hurting them at all by tying them up and jerking off to it? Dude, alright, I know we talk about bestiality in this fucking podcast every now and then, like joking around.
Every now and then, every fucking episode.
But we've never had to deal with like a real fucking bestiality. I don't know, have we?
I'm unsure. I think it came up with...
Icebox Killer,
Icebox,
yeah.
yeah.
Toy Box
Toy
Killer.
Box.
Toy Box Killer, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm thinking Icebox fucking Omaria. I got my Icebox.
Wow.
Took me.
My heart is like a nice box.
It's all coming full circle here.
It's so
boys.
cold. It's so cold.
But I mean, Josh, if you, there was more murders that went into. He, like I said, he had a fucking hiatus. He liked fucking with the media. He would dress up Barbie dolls as some of his victims and put them in like a fucking cereal box to like say that he's a serial killer, and little fucking things around town to like make puns and shit like that. I mean, Josh, if you want to start going into, did you want to start talking about how he got caught and shit, or?
Yeah, I think it's about that time where it's going to take a while to talk about how he got caught, and then all the stuff that he would do with the tell-all book and all that shit. And then we're also going to be talking a little bit about some of the media that has come out after that, as far as like The Hunt for BTK, this terrible fucking movie that we were forced to watch because we thought it was going to be better and BTK related. But anyway, so yeah, we'll get into how he eventually gets caught. So first of all, how many people did he kill, Jesus? Do you have the number?
He killed 10 people.
He's convicted for 10 people, but they think he killed a lot more than that, no?
I doubt it, dude. He snitched everything. When he got caught, he fucking started talking nonsense. I feel like if he killed more people, he would have taken credit. He was all about the credit. I mean, the first kills he started because he wanted to fucking get that credit for it, and I really feel he probably should have not got caught. He's just a fucking moron who wanted to get that acknowledgement. But he probably could have gone down in the books as never being caught, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, so he could have not gotten caught. That's just straight up and down. If he minded his own fucking business and didn't care so much about the notoriety and all that, he would have lived a free man. The reason that he got caught is because he got sloppy with his communication with the police and hubris. You always see with these guys that they get overly confident, that they're way too into themselves, and they think that they're invincible at certain points, and eventually, you slip up and they catch you, and technology advances, which we'll get is the subject of our question here in a little bit. And we can go ahead and talk about, I was just given a note about a flashlight. Is that
no, it's because we're playing a survivor match, and I unhooked somebody, and as we were going out to the exit, and the killer knocks that person down right there in the exit. So I'm like, son of a bitch. I've never in my life ever been able to save somebody with a flashlight. So I just flashed the light. What?
I don't want to ruin your buzz there, buddy, but that person DS'd.
What do you mean?
That you didn't save him with the flashlight. They DS'd off of the killer.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
Juan Fleshlight the killer.
Man, I was like,
let him have it.
Damn. Oh well.
You would have just like BTK.
I'm gonna go jerk off.
Fully torched right now.
I was about to jerk off to that flashlight save, man.
Ernie straight up BTK's like, I'm not gonna give you the credit. I should get credit here for this because I did this.
Well,
Either way, Ernie and I escaped anyway, so.
Yeah, so we got 2 shots.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and take the first shot, and then Jesus is going to give us the details of how he got caught, and then we'll move into parts of the tell-all that I obviously want to talk about, and that I know Jesus wants to talk about. So we'll get into the details of how he gets caught right after this. We'll ask something, buddy.
Yeah, cheers.
That's it. Cheers. All right.
Cheers to
let's
do
flashlight.
Let's do cheers. Let's do cheers to my $20 on that Oni.
Yeah, cheers to Juan losing $20.
It's dedication. Which I'm gonna go. I'll go back to him.
Well, that was very strong. You guys a survivor shot. Make sure to remind me.
Oh, I poured a double and that was nasty.
There you go, baby. There you go. Get with it. Let's get lit.
Since it was me and Juan, it is 2 shots. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying we owe you another one, but you said you just took yours. Okay, I get it.
I did a double.
So here's the question. Our next question is: do you think that it's possible for a serial killer like this to exist in modern day society? We're not talking about like third world countries that don't have the technology that, let's say, we or the UK. The UK is the most watched country on the planet. They have video fucking recording equipment everywhere. Every corner, every fucking place, they are being watched. So let's pretend there or even here in the US, do you think a serial killer like BTK could exist in modern day society?
Nope.
I say no, because there's too many cameras everywhere.
Not just that, but with today's technology, I mean, you can literally get on your phone, look up shit, and if that's what makes you jerk off, you can just jerk off off of shit without having to see it in person and go to those extremes. Not only that, but there's a lot of sex dolls and shit like that. So if anybody ever needs anything, go ahead and hit up Arrow's video. Anyway. Yeah. But
a plug there for Juan.
Juan's all like, if you want to go to this crazy website, see whatever.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and I think if he was in modern days, he'd be one of those guys who posts like really cringy ass shit on Facebook or just social media in general.
Yeah,
he's that fucking idiot who robs a bank and then posts pictures with the money. Like, guess what I just did, guys?
No, I think it's even worse than that. He'd be that guy that posts like pictures of himself with like Joker makeup and like and has some kind of fucking like KLAQ rock quote under there, like fucking like I'm in so much pain constantly, but
my life is like a dark abyss.
Yeah, exactly. He would be that guy, or like posts himself in like a black and white picture with his shirt off, holding a gun. Like, he'd be one of those dudes that are
just
the absolute worst.
That quote, like, I'm not saying I'm BTK, but I'm not saying I'm not him either. Just tell you.
Hey guys, if I was a serial killer, what would my name be?
That's it. That's the tweet. Yeah, let's talk about his nickname first.
Well, real quick, before we get off that topic,
go ahead.
I think the whole... Because in the movie, The Hunt for BTK, they show a part where he drops something off at the Home Depot. And, like, they try to zoom in to see, but the cameras back then just weren't as advanced as they are now. So I think now, like, someone doing something stupid like that, like, in broad daylight, like, going see the license plate, see their face and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't think.
Not only that,
a
but
serial killer like that's viable.
forensics are fucking ridiculous
Yeah.
nowadays. Like back then, they didn't have all that. You know, like how he would send letters and all that shit. Right now, they'd be able to trace that shit right back to him.
Well, they got his DNA off of a stamp. I'll
Yeah,
get into that right now,
but it would have been a lot faster nowadays. It's like
yeah,
he would have sent that shit, and like the next day he'd be caught.
true.
Yeah, I think it would be impossible. The technology, they're finding serial killers that have gotten away and serial rapists that have gotten away with it for years by the new DNA testing. If you're interested in that kind of thing, are Gone in the Dark, which is Rachel McNamara's book, and that eventually got the Golden Bridge, whatever, killer caught. And they did it with a lot of research, but also through new DNA testing. So you should check that out. And so let's get into his nickname a little bit before we get into him getting caught, and then his tell-all stuff. So BTK might be like a pretty good nickname. Like you think like, oh, it's not a bad nickname. The problem here is that he gave it to himself. He was tired of not having a nickname that no one bought, like Son of Sam or whatever else. Like no one bothered to fucking call him anything, and so he mails or he writes a letter to the Cake, to the local radio station KAKE, and he has them read on air like, how many people do I have to kill to get a nickname? These are a list of nicknames that you could call me. And obviously we've talked about a couple of them already, and they are all absolutely well. So BTK is okay, and then the Wichita Hangman would have been fucking sick. But obviously, I mean, giving yourself your own nickname is the absolute worst.
It's corny, man. This guy was a fucking corny ass killer.
Dude, he was the corniest. I think he's one of, like, out of the serial killers we've talked about so far, he's the corniest dude. Like he is just.
It's just the fact that he's so self-aware of what a dumbass he is.
He's cringy, dude. He's so fucking cringy.
He sounds like he'll be so badass, like buying what you kill, but then when you really like dive into it, everything, like, this guy's a fucking like loser. Like he fucking sucks.
And then you talk about like a serial killer getting away with it today. I mean, those first murders, he left the knife at the fucking house and drove back in his car to pick it up. Like, in his car, got out, like, oh, let me look for it around the house, and like, okay. And he did this at 8 in the morning, so, like, someone would have saw him now.
Yeah.
Like,
that's for sure. Someone's Ring doorbell would have saw it and fucking, look at this fucking guy.
Yeah, I mean, just incredibly cringy is the word that I would use for this guy. So let's go ahead and talk. Jesus, you want to give the details about exactly how he got caught?
Oh, that's so bad.
Or Ernie, if you want to.
No, I mean, go for it. He's the one that told me it, so I want him to show.
Before we go into how he got caught, I have a few. When he was wanting to go by the Poetic Strangler, I have some quick poems that he wrote. If you guys are down, you got your snapping fingers ready. For some of this great material.
One of my hands, but go ahead.
So, all right. So, this one is called Winter's Hit List. Pretty good name, right?
No. But go on.
On the 14th day of winter, Old Man Winter tightens his fist. Placed in the Midwest on his hit list, snow was the blow. Dennis.
Oh my god. Yes.
So bad.
Winter hungry.
King.
Cold
All
man.
right, ready? Winter hungry. 20th of winter, black wings over the snow-white land. Are winter hungry? Dennis Rader. All right.
They
So
actually
this
they
one-
actually show the poems in the movie the Hunt for BTK. He writes one for like a waitress or something like that, and like she just looks at it like, okay,
Like,
weirdo.
So this one is still pretty. It's fucking bad, but he wrote this one actually for that victim who got shot in the face when he was in prison. He wrote this poem and sent it to him. So this one is called "Poet to My Valentine." I guess he wrote it for Valentine's Day. Here to you, a tender Valentine, red with blood, tight twine with nothing. Too much, my Valentine, gone here by a whim of mine. Dennis Rader.
Oh my god, dude. Like you think about where poetry has come, like, I mean, you think about poetry that was better before that, but you think about, like, modern rap music today, like, I mean, it just, he should be embarrassed. He should have never, like, maybe he didn't share these things, like, maybe they just found it in a notebook or whatever, but that should be embarrassing enough for him to want to hide away for the rest of his life.
Could you imagine if they gave him the Poetic Strangler and then this is what he dropped and they're like, oh, we kind of fucked up by giving him this name. This is terrible. Like,
I can imagine, like, him like in his fucking dimly lit room going like, oh yeah, this is so fucking dark and good.
I'm gonna fucking jerk off to this. Like,
I'm fucking harder than a diamond in an ice storm right now. So
where's my
go.
female mask?
Spiritual miracle.
It's like, I need a spiritual miracle, lyrical in your swimming pool.
So I went to the hat store today.
Hey, and I got myself a hat.
Oh, I'm about to fucking Sparky big time.
Sparky big time. So let's get to the. Or is there more poetry? Did I
No,
cut you
please
off?
no more. Please,
No.
I can't.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get to how he got caught.
Is he? Oh, well, go on. I'll ask
No,
afterwards.
go
Ask
ahead.
your question. Go ask.
I was gonna ask you, is he still alive?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's alive.
Motherfucker.
He's I believe he's serving. Okay, so when he did all his killings, it was before they had the death penalty installed in his state. So he's serving, I believe, like 17 life sentences or like a.
Yeah,
100 and,
he'll never get fucking out.
Like, he got life pretty much.
yeah, like I
more
think it's
than
like
one life,
185 years in prison. So yeah.
I hope they
If you-
jizz on him. I hope the guards like jizz on him every night.
Dude, the fuck, like we should just like not call him BTK because he fucking gets off on that. Like, I bet he's like in the fucking jail. Like, you guys know who I am, right? Like, he's that guy. He's like, you know who I am, right? Like,
He probably is the fucking
yeah.
loser that's
They're like,
supposed to be
okay, okay, Dennis, we get it. You fucking.
He's like in his local diner, and she's like, what do you have? And he's like, I'd like some coffee and some toast. Have you heard about that guy BTK? Isn't he crazy?
Go back. Go back in the showers, Dennis the Menace.
Oh my god.
trying to hang out with like other serial killers and like they're all pissed off because how fucking lame he is. They straight up mean girls him like, you can't sit with us.
He writes to Ed Kemper in jail. He's like, hey Ed, it's me, BTK. I just want, like, I'm starting a little network of all the serial killers, and I just want, I want to make sure that we're friends or whatever. And Ed Kemper, like, gets it and wipes his ass with it in prison. He's like, I don't really want to be a part of this Dennis Rader guy who's fucking, he's going to write me a poem? I think not.
Yeah, that's Dennis right there for you.
Okay, so how he got caught? God damn it, we're fucking running out of time here.
We're fucking all right. So he got lazy. He didn't want to fucking write letters anymore. He didn't want to fucking do this little, I'm gonna put cereal boxes around the town. So he thought playing fucking cat and mouse with the detectives, like the detective was getting off on it as well. So he straight up wrote them like, hey, if I start writing to you guys on a floppy disk, can you trace it back to me? Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, all right?
No. Be honest.
Be honest. Yeah, be honest. Put it in the ads, and I'll be looking for it. So they fucking put it in the ads. No, it's untraceable.
Oh
like,
my god.
So he's like, all right, like they were didn't fucking lie to me. So he puts his next BTK killing on a fucking floppy disk, and sends it off to the newscast. And so when they're reviewing this fucking floppy disk, they see it's at the church that he belongs to, under a man named Dennis. That's where the fucking file was created by. And then they just went to their website and they saw that the church president was fucking Dennis Rader. So they didn't want to tip him off that they already knew who it was. So they used his daughter's pap smear, because she was in college, to get her DNA to match it with the DNA that they had that he had fucking made. I don't even want to fucking say Sparky big time, but that he had fucking left behind at the crime scene for the first kill on the fucking child. And they matched the DNA, so they knew it was fucking him. He was on his way home for lunch, and they pulled him over, and he's like, yeah, I know what this is about. Just tell my wife I'm not going to be home for lunch. And they fucking arrested him. And then when they were fucking interrogating him, he's like, why did you lie to me? You said you couldn't trace this back. And they're like, dude, we're trying to fucking catch you. Like, what the fuck?
That's not cool, man.
That's not cool. Why would you lie to me?
They actually show that in the movie too. Like, he's like, why would you lie to me? I thought we had like a rapport. Like don't you want to hear the end of the story? Because he was sending him his own like autobiography. Like,
that shit reminds me of
dumbass.
That shit reminds me of Breaking Bad, when I don't know if you guys have watched it, but like when they bust a badger trying to sell meth to that skinny guy from The New Guy.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna hang out, man. Like, we are hanging out, Badger.
Funny fucking badger.
Yeah, I don't like people who abuse the Constitution and lie, you know, or some shit like that.
Dude, this guy thought he was so fucking smart, and...
Well, can you imagine being his daughter and she's like, you need DNA from my vagina for what? And they're like, oh, your dad's semen, we think.
They didn't tell her, dude. They fucking got a subpoena, so they got it behind her back. And she wrote a book about it later on, and she was pissed about it. But when they didn't tell her that they were doing it. And actually, when he got arrested, she was like, no, like there's a 60 Minutes thing about it, and she was talking about it. She's like, I was over here swearing up and down trying to defend my dad's honor, like, no, he didn't do it. And the cops were all like, your dad's snitching on himself. He's telling everything right now as we speak. Like, he is completely telling his whole story. And dude, he was such a piece of shit because he would act like it's annoying him. Like, he's like, oh, okay, let me tell you what happened. Like, I did this. But like, he would go detail to detail, and the cops are super fucking amazed that he remembered everything. He fucking, like, from the smallest, he's like, blah, 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 let me see here. This is what I did because I'm a serial killer, and this is what I like to do. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like,
so we've got some comments here that we've been neglecting, which I feel bad about because we're constantly asking people to comment. So we've got Michelle who said, I would just ask if he wanted to watch the original Exorcist with me.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so
yes.
That's when we were talking, obviously, about, like, would you fight back? Marcus Hughes said, laugh my ass off, I'm not down. That's when we were talking about the lemon party. Beth said nope at some point, but I don't know what she's referring to.
It's if he'd be able to get away with it nowadays.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Well, I mean, if you had a floppy disk, maybe, because I don't even think they have floppy disk readers anymore.
You know what? He doesn't have a floppy dick because he's okay. Never mind. That joke. Because he's always jerking off.
He's always fucking fully torqued. So and then we've got Bethany saying that's why he got caught. Yes, it was. He just fucking he trusted the cop. He thought they were friends or whatever because he's like a lonely fucking
sack of shit
nerd that never had any fucking. I keep using the term nerd. I hope no one's offended by that, but I'm gonna say dweeb. He was like a dweeb that just couldn't make any friends. So he was like, I've got a policeman friend, and he would never lie to me. And so that's how he got caught. So
he did that thing, and like when you see it, like, are you a police officer? You have to tell me by law. Like,
it's entrapment if you don't tell me. So
the detective in the movie is fucking, since Juan brought up freaking Breaking Bad, it's Robert Forster, R.I.P. He's the one in Breaking Bad that in El Camino, he helps Jesse get away with everything with the vacuum shop.
Oh, nice.
It's a pretty cool movie. You guys should watch it.
Which one? The
Yeah,
fucking
no, I
BTK
haven't.
movies?
The Hunt for BTK. It's pretty good.
Oh, this is his song. Hold on. This is his jam right here.
It better be a fucking poetic.
Juan, have it queued up next time. Very good one. Very timely.
God damn.
Very excellent comedic timing there.
Juan, we're gonna start playing that every time you do your intro now.
Fuck yeah, that'll be my theme song, dude. I'm down with that. Except I'm not a nerd. I'm kind of stupid, so I
No,
wouldn't
you're
really.
the fucking Garrote Phantom, okay?
Yes.
Oh man.
So we'll get into some stuff really quick. We're gonna run long again, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. We understand you got to go to bed or whatever, but we've got some stuff to talk about still. So I've just accepted that we're gonna go a little bit longer. But we still left. We have his tell-all and then the movies. I'm gonna get into the movies real quick before we get into like the tell-all. Because they have some information that gives us like some insight. So I'm going to start off with a movie called The Good Marriage. So this is a movie that is based on a Stephen King book, but also that book and the character in the movie is based off of BTK. As a matter of fact, they call him BD. There's a lot of like the MOs, like the license plates and all. I mean the driver's licenses and all that. But so in this movie. What the most prominent theme here in this movie, the thing that is most pungent, the thing that is most observable in the movie, it is that it is a fucking piece of shit. It is.
He's not
It is.
kidding.
I can't recommend a movie less than I would recommend The Good Marriage.
The Good Marriage or You Got Served?
I'd watch You Got Served, bro. I'd watch You Got Served 100 times before I watch The Good Marriage again. It's just poorly written. The acting isn't good. The story isn't good. The way they tell the story, there's like a hallucination factor. The ending was bad, just from start to end. Actually, the first like 15 minutes of it are pretty entertaining. And although there's a very awkward sex scene in that first 10 minutes.
Is that awkward? That's how I have sex.
With a mirror facing towards you, and you have to get her some fizzy water with lime.
Yeah, that's how. That's not how you guys do it.
Heather, if you're watching, can you confirm? Yeah. So don't watch that movie, and unless anyone else wants to fucking trash it, that's all we're gonna talk about it.
They have the biggest reference to BTK is his name is BD, and the guy that made the book about BTK, his last name is BD. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's a fun fact. Jude, where you at? Pull your dick out.
Oh, Jude. Where's someone's mom when you need Jude?
Where's someone's? That's exactly why he's not here.
We've got to lure him out. We've got to send him a floppy disk with different moms on it. So don't watch that movie. But Hunt for BTK, Ernie really liked it.
Yeah.
And I also like. Here's the thing about Mindhunter. It is a show that I've recommended over and over again on the show, especially if you love this kind of shit. The thing about BTK in Mindhunter is that the beginning of a lot of episodes start with you watching BTK, but he's never brought up the rest of the show, and that's because they're obviously leading to hunting him as like the final thing. But also they want to show you that not all serial killers get caught by the FBI or whoever else is working on it, and it's this constant theme of that kind of thing. So Bethany says too cocky and wanted the credit. I mean, that's what it comes down to. He just got way ahead of himself. I think part of him wanted to go to jail, man. Because he seemed way too happy to be in jail and telling all the shit that he told. And Michelle says, sorry to do this too early, but note the Trinity Killer and Dexter heavily influenced by him. Yes, Michelle, don't be sorry. We were gonna get there in a second as well, and maybe we'll get there now. But the Trinity Killer and Dexter, and something that you find out through the hunt for BTK, something that the Good Marriage is based on, is this guy had a family. He had a wife, and he had 2 kids, and he was a model citizen, not like just a regular whatever guy. Like, he was a church leader, he was a Boy Scout leader, he was involved in the community and getting different people elected and different politics and things like that. People expected him to be this model citizen, and when he was found out, people were absolutely disgusted. He didn't just ruin the lives of his victims or his victims' family. He ruined his own family's life, and seemed to not care about it. When he's doing his tell-all, he doesn't once mention that he's sorry that he hurt his family. He doesn't once mention that he feels bad for what he did to his family. And his wife immediately filed for divorce. She was shocked beyond belief, said her life will never be good again. His daughter has, like Jesus mentioned, has written a book about everything. But they were devastated. He was able to keep his family. We talked about the Iceman earlier in an episode, and it was the same thing. His family was shocked that he was a fucking notorious killer, and so was BTK's family. They couldn't believe it, and he ruined a lot of other lives too, because he had friends. He had people that looked up to him and depended on him and that loved him within the community, and their lives were ruined, because after that happens, you feel like you can't ever trust somebody again. And that is a perfect parallel to Trinity. Go ahead, Jesus.
No, I was going to say, when you're talking about his daughter and the family, she, like in her tell-all, and when she finally was able to open up, she says, I still love my dad because I see him as not what the world sees him as, BTK. I fucked up by Googling to find out who BTK is. But my dad, we grew up very normal. He wasn't abusive. He was a very caring and loving father. And I think it's really crazy when you could see that in that. I don't know, how would you guys take it if you were to fucking find out in the next day, that you're going about your life, your dad's the fucking person or whatever, or a family member is someone that you grew up knowing your entire life, and then holy fuck, they're a completely different person. Like, it's not even. You're just blindsided by it. It was fucking, I can't even fucking imagine what they had to go through and shit like that.
My dad has been such an awesome dad. Like, he's just been a fucking great dad, that I would be, and I think this is going to be shocking to people because I'm usually pretty harsh about this kind of thing, but he's been so fucking important and great in my life that I would side, like, with her. Like, I'd be like, look, yeah, he did these things, but that's not how I see him. That's not what he is in my life, and I love him. I think that's part of what family is, actually, is that you love people no matter what. And so for me, it would be that reaction. Like, I would be incredibly sick to my stomach. I would fucking be very mad at him, and I would feel very sorry for the victims, of course. But I don't think I could ever get to the point where I'm like, I don't love my dad anymore.
Yeah, I agree. Cause like, I know what you mean. Cause like, for example, or like Jesus too. Like, we're both dads, and I'm not gonna speak for you, but I know me. Like, if I grew up loving my son and everything. I mean, my son grows up being loved by me. I'm sorry, and one day turns out that he did these horrible things. Like, yeah, I'd be pissed off about it and whatnot, but I still love him because that'd still be my kid. You know what I mean? That's the fucked up thing about it.
The only thing I wouldn't be able to forgive him is for those goddamn horrible poems that he wrote. The fucking... I can understand the killing, but these poems,
especially being related to J Texas. Come on, you gotta have better rhymes than that.
Hey, you gotta have better rhymes than that. But you'd be like, Dad, I know you killed all these people. You got the BTK thing going. You got caught because you had a floppy disk and you trusted a cop. But why did you have to write these poems?
Couldn't do this lyrical, spiritual miracle shit. Come on.
Oh my God. Could
I'm
Casey
sorry, son.
Anthony fit a newborn in the shoebox with a shoehorn?
Sorry, son. I see these chickens just getting tied up when I was a child.
You have to understand, my mother was so hot. I just couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with it.
Oh my god.
Where were we? Trinity Killer, Dexter, very quickly. A lot of parallels between him and BTK. Had a family, ultimately dies because he has a family, because Dexter threatens to expose him, and he says, like, I can't have it. Like, I love my family, I love my wife, I love my children. I just also do this thing where I murder people. And so we see that a lot. You see people being able to separate their home lives from the fucking monsters that they are, the animals. And actually, animals is the wrong word, because animals are awesome. But these fucking these unreal monsters. Real monsters. I don't know why that happened, but these unreal monsters that these people are, and they're able to separate that from their home lives. So let's get into the tell-all a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up the episode. I don't know why I did that either, but I accidentally elongated my O sound. So I have some highlights that I'd like to talk about. I know Jesus, this is something that we went over. Like, this is the funniest part of it, because he is such a fucking dweeb that he cannot help himself from telling this story like he's some sort of fucking badass, like he's some sort of fucking, like he deserves all this attention or whatever. Like, bro, you attacked helpless women who were alone. Like, you're a fucking weak little piece of shit. Like, you don't deserve any of this praise that you think people are giving you. So one of the highlights for me is him talking about like where he got these ideas from, like where he starts saying, like, when you're hunting someone, you have to be very careful. It starts to become an obsession. It starts to consume you, and all you do is hunt this person. It's like, bro, you sat in your car and ate cheeseburgers and memorized the schedule. Like, shut the fuck up. Hunting requires, like, skill and stealth and that kind of shit. Like, you cut an old lady's phone line and then broke into her house and killed her. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Dude, he was so fucking cheesy. When he would go out and stalk people, he would call them like, anyone who he killed, it was considered a project. Like, he would give them cheesy names. Like, the first family was fucking Project Mex because they were Hispanic. Dude, he would say, he's creative. He would say, whenever he would, like, get really thrilled, he's like, that would really bring out the X factor in me. Like,
oh my god.
Dude, what
like,
the
he would say, like, yeah, like, when he would try to, like, make himself seem normal, he's like, I would put on my light hat because I was a caring person, but when I put my dark hat on, like, shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna put my big boy pants on. Get ready to kill.
I'm gonna put my dark hat time on, and then it's time for Sparky Big Time.
Dude, he would put everything in, like, you just gotta know how to really orient your life, and you gotta cube it. Like, he would call it cubing, where he would fucking, like, put, you know, different items in his life. He's like, all right, I'm gonna put this here, and I'm gonna cube this over here, and this is my fantasy about this, so this is a separate cube. And, like, he would organize himself, like how he fucking liked to get his fucking dick hard and shit like that. It was yeah.
Dude, and, like, you think you're so smart, like, you think you're so fucking clever, and then you send a floppy disk to a cop because they said they couldn't trace it. Like, oh my god. And then the cringiness of the poems, the fact that he was somehow proud to tell those stories about his childhood. I mean, they didn't come from anywhere else. No one would have known those things if he didn't sit there and fucking talk about them at length. He was just so full of himself, so full of hubris. It is nauseating. And the fact that we know people like this, like, we know dudes that constantly, like, post selfies with, like, like these fucking Breaking Benjamin quotes and fucking, like, and black and white pictures where they look like dark and seething. Like, we know dudes like that, and like he is
No
one
comment.
of those dudes. He is the. No, I want you to comment. No, but yeah, like we know these people, we know guys that act like that, and they're the cringiest members of society. They think that they're fucking something super badass, when in reality you're just a fucking dweeb. You have no fucking semblance of what it takes to be like a good person, a smart person, a clever person. You're all of this has been built up in your head. Nobody else thinks this about you. Nobody around you thinks that you're cool or that you're a badass or that you're any of that shit. Everyone thinks that you're a pussy.
You're a bitch.
Yeah, like you're a fucking bitch, dude, and there's no way around that shit. And there was no more apparent time than when he is fucking spilling his guts in the tell-all. He's spilling his guts when he gets arrested. He wanted people to know this story so fucking bad, and the real tragedy here is that it wasn't a good story. It wasn't a good story.
No.
It wasn't entertaining. It wasn't. There's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. You got dropped as a baby. You had brain damage, and people suffered for it. Is what the bottom line is with BTK. And obviously we don't know if that actually, like, if we can even blame him getting dropped or whatever. But that's where, those were my parts of the tell-all. I just, it's so unbelievably cringy that you can't get over that part. And he just keeps going. He thinks he's the fucking belle of the ball. And honestly, before, like, other than recommending like a documentary or anything that I watched, I would first recommend that you check out his confession, like the video confession, and then I would, on YouTube, if you just type in BTK Killer, the first documentary that comes up is pretty good, because they talk to local law enforcement and then local people who kind of got wind of what was happening before it was national news, and so you get a lot of like that original, how people were really terrified at the beginning, because in Wichita, Kansas, this has never happened before. And that's where I'll end my shtick, if anybody has anything to add on about the tell-all or anything else.
He's just a loser.
Dude,
Pussy.
yeah, the worst part, he was so fucking unoriginal when he was doing his tell-all and he was saying everything. He was just like, Ted Bundy did this, so that's why I did this. And like when he was talking about like, I used to like this knot because the Boston Strangler used to use this knot, and I used to do this because the Son of Sam did this, and I used to do that. I was like, dude, nothing you fucking did was your own idea. Like, it was a fucking little snippet of everything, and you want it to be you're like, yeah, so they're gonna, he's voiced, like, I want to be in the same category of fucking Ted Bundy, and I want to be in the same, I would really say the only thing that he had on his side to be considered one of these great serial killers is that he got away with it for so long. And he probably should have gotten away with it, but he wanted that fucking recognition. He wanted to snitch on himself because he wanted to get caught. Like,
yeah,
I think
go ahead.
No, I think he probably would have gone down even more famous if he would have never gotten caught. He would have been that fucking, what's his name? Fucking Zodiac Killer who they just never.
Yeah.
It leaves that mystery. Is he still out there? Is he
So
still
Jack
near
the
us?
Ripper.
So Michelle says, and this brings up a great point that you're talking about. Michelle says, I wonder if there's a BTK fan out there who absolutely praised him until he found and read the poems, and then it shattered him. So I love the Zodiac story. I think it's fascinating. The movie is very good. But the story, the more that you read about it, the more you go down this rabbit hole of how fascinating Zodiac was. It was a fantastic, it is a fantastic story. I bet you if they caught Zodiac and he started talking about how cool he thought he was, that story would be significantly less badass. The real badass killers, or if you can think of them that way, I mean, there's a lot of victims and lives involved, but Edwin Kemper didn't take his shit from anybody. He was original. He was just like, look, I cut my mom's head off and I fucked it because I wanted to. Son of Sam at least came up with the whole fucking demon thing. Fucking Ted Bundy denied. He denied till the very end because he wasn't sucking his own dick. He was killing because he's a fucking killer, and he beat people to death with a bat. Like, he didn't get that from anywhere. And so
Even
on top,
escaped jail twice.
yeah, I mean, and that's where you get these things where these guys become legends. And unfortunately, in this country, we have this thing where we worship, certain serial killers. I have a piece of Ed Gein's floorboard, like, that kind of notoriety happens. But BTK, I feel like he just doesn't, like, the fact that he got caught and then decided to say all those things, he just couldn't ever be in that upper echelon of serial killers in this country that are considered, holier than thou, fucking bad motherfuckers. Like, he just could never be there. You listen to Charlie Manson talk, and you are fucking jaw to the floor, fucking holy shit, this guy's a fucking mastermind. You listen to BTK talk, and you're like, this guy is a fucking dweeb, and I can't stand it. So, we're gonna go ahead and call it there. We've been going for a long time, longer than we usually go, longer than the Scream episode, and all we were talking about today was BTK, because obviously there's a lot to unpack with this dude. So, thanks to everybody for listening. We're not going to wrap up quite yet. We owe Ernie a shot, because he doesn't owe himself a shot, but we owe him a shot because he got away on the Survivor Series.
How many kills did you get on that one?
3.
How many kills did you get total tonight?
8. 7?
8?
So
less
calculated
than
7.
BTK.
Less than BTK, but in like an hour and a half. So that's impressive.
You left your knife at the crime scene.
I didn't take 30 fucking years to do it.
Juan sent a floppy disk in. It's just like, look,
And
guys,
I didn't jerk off either, so. Not yet.
These
No, I'm
chickens
just
that you jerk off to.
Michelle says, I used to own a John Wayne Gacy drawing. The ex kept it. Yeah, I mean, that happens. At least he didn't keep your dog.
Okay.
I was sympathizing with you. I wasn't calling you out. I think that was really, like, that's the most fucked up story I've ever heard about an ex keeping something, other than like children or whatever. But yeah. So I mean, the moral of the story, which we've said a bunch of times, is that this guy fucking sucked. But that'll be the end of BTK. We're gonna take this shot real quick before we get into the very, very end of the show, which I promise is coming. Thanks again for everybody that is currently hanging out, everybody that stopped by. We can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys. You keep the show going, and we're going to be here every Friday night until something drastic happens. So, cheers to floppy disks.
Cheers to floppy disk and making the Sparky big time.
And making the Sparky big time, boys. It's another big shot. So just some housekeeping stuff really quick. We don't know what we're talking about next week, but we will release a flyer that Ernie so graciously works on every week. He will release a flyer sometime soon when we decide what we're going to be doing. We do have general plans. We just haven't decided which one we're going with yet. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, please subscribe. Please tell your friends about us. Please share us on social media. Please follow us on social media at Death by Daylight on both Instagram and Twitter. We have a Facebook page, and we'll be getting on other stuff at some point, although there's not a lot of other stuff that we care to get on. But we'll be here every week, and we're happy to have you. So we will get into everybody's, unless I've forgotten something that I don't know about, we will get into everybody's opportunity to talk about whatever they want to talk about, and then everybody will sign off. So Ernie, go ahead and give your minute of whatever the fuck you want to talk about.
Thanks for showing up, guys. If you guys want to play DVD or some Fall Guys during the week, hit me up.
Yeah, so let me give gamer tags real quick. Jesus is at J Texas Music. Everything is under lowercase. Jesus. Ernie is Lil Poochie Vert, capital L-I-L, capital P00, C-H-I, capital V-E-R-T 666. Lil Poochie Vert 666. If you didn't fucking get that, you can re-listen and get that. And Juan is Bunnies 2914. Bunnies is all lowercase, and I, of course, am at. I forgot my gamer tag. I am at Kilgore _N_ Trout 10. Kilgore _ Trout 10. Everything is lowercase. So if you guys want to play Dead by Daylight or Fall Guys, if you want to play me in some FIFA or some NHL or some yeah, if you want to play with us, any of us, Hunt Shadow Realm, we're available for that. Oh, sorry, yeah, Hunt Showdown. If you want to play that with us, we are getting into that game, so you can play that with us as well. And that's about that. Oh, also, if you want to be on an episode, like if you want to play on an episode, if you don't want to talk but you want to play, or you want to talk and not play, or you want to do both, please hit up whoever you know from the podcast, or you can send a message to our social media if you don't have any of our direct info, and we will try to get you on. We want people to feel like they can interact, and we want people to feel like they're part of what we're doing. So if you want to play or you want to talk about stuff, please let somebody know, and we'll try to get you on as soon as possible. That's about it. Oh yeah, Ernie gave his 1 minute, so Jesus, you're next.
Alright, I'm changing my gamer tag to the Garrote Phantom. I think it's available.
Oh my god.
So,
The Garrote Phantom.
So add me at the PSN, the Garrote Phantom / I come in a chicken coop and make the Sparky big time.
Backslash. There's no backslashes on PSN. Okay.
Oh, that's alright.
Juan, what do you got for your last minute here, buddy?
So the whole moral of all this shit is, no matter how badass of a killer you think you are, you can still be a cringy ass piece of shit. So please, do not be that person. Do not be that guy or girl who needs attention, because in the end, all we're gonna talk about is how often you jerk off. Thank you very much.
Yeah, all we're gonna talk about is where and how you masturbated. And then we're going to talk about how terrible your poems are. And no one's going to give a fuck about you as we rot in jail.
Didn't even mention he used to jerk off to pictures of himself.
I mentioned that he used to jerk off in the mirror. I think that's close enough. So
yeah. So,
go ahead.
If you're jerking off to pictures of yourself, you might be a serial killer.
You might have a fucking problem. I can barely stand to look at myself, much less jerk off to myself. So that'll be it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week. Everybody say bye.
Later.
Fuck the free world.
313.
Peace.